Are you a fan of the Dragon Ball Super card game? If so, check out QueenCityGaming.com for sealed product, singles, and more. Just use promo code MafubaJar-10 to save 10% off your order every time.
Welcome back to the Mafuba Jar, where you guys have been sealed away for another awesome deck profile. And today, we're going to be taking a look at the yellow Gohan deck. Now, technically, even though I say yellow Gohan deck, it's Gohan with the Lineage engine in here. Because I did try the Gohan engine with this. The engine is good, and the leader is pretty good too, but at least for me, they just seem to not work very well together, which was pretty odd to me. But I found that the whole Lineage thing worked with this leader so much better than the actual Gohan engine that we got from set 6. And for the Gohan engine, I found that there's just other leaders that work for it better, especially the yellow Broly leader. So that's at least something to keep in mind. Like, you could definitely play the Gohan engine with Gohan Lee if you want to go for that theme, but I could say I tried it and it was, they almost, like, the best way to describe it is that they almost contradicted each other. Not quite, but they almost did. But anyways, as I said, I've been testing out with the whole Goku's Lineage engine, and it works fantastically with this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the leader, why he's really good. So his unawakened side's really, really good. He has autos a burst 2, you mill 2 cards, and you get to choose any yellow card from your hand, discard it, and you draw 2 cards. So you get to dig through your deck pretty well. And even though you're limited to yellow cards, it's yellow cards. Like, it doesn't have to be a battle card. So if you have like a dead extra card that you're not using for anything, or you really can't use, you go ahead and just pitch dodge, you get 2 cards right off the bat. And he awakens at 4 life by restaining 2 energy. Yeah, he's one of the few leaders in the set that doesn't untap 1 and draw 1, which I prefer that awakening most, but for this particular deck, I think the untap 2 works better. And I'll go ahead and take a look at his awakening side, his Super Saiyan 2 form, which looks incredible. His auto, I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed at his auto. His auto is a Sparking 5. When he attacks, you draw a card. That's it. He doesn't gain like it. He doesn't gain 5k. He doesn't have critical, nothing like that. Just draw a card, which I wasn't too happy with that. Honestly, what I think should have been really cool for the Gohan, that I personally don't think would have been broken, is that if he attacked, and to give him like 10k power, because like he's Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Teen Gohan, like the absolute powerhouse. So I don't think that would have been unfair. And his activate man, you choose up to 1 yellow sand in your drop area when the energy cost of 3 or more, add it to your hand and negate the skill for the duration of the game. That, it comes in handy, like especially with the bursting and discarding. If you get rid of one of your high cost cards, you can get it back with that skill. Only thing I don't like is that it's once per game. If it was any yellow sand, then absolutely. Like, the once per game would have been completely understandable, but I mean, it's still good. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the leader. It's just, personally, I think they limited him a little too much. Like, I understand they didn't want to make something broken, but, like, you could have given him a little more for his awakened side. Unawakened's great, don't get me wrong. So, like, I tend to only awaken when I'm trying to go for game and I'm trying to have the energy to do it. So, that does it for the leader there. Now, let's go ahead and go into the actual deck. So as I said, this is Goku's Lineage, so I am going to be running 4 copies of Bardock the Progenitor. Tap a yellow energy, you take a life, and he has the Swap 2 where you get to play down a Goku's Lineage with a 2 cost and add this to your hand. And he does it for free too, so that's really, really good. Like so many other decks other than just Lineage players. There's Storm decks that play it. I've even just seen generic yellow decks just play this card for no reason other than just to awaken. So it's really good on that. And I also do run 2 copies of Adopted Father Son Gohan, mainly because he's also a 1-drop with the Swap 2, but having a blocker out does come in handy sometimes as well. So that's my lineup. I have a 4-2 lineup in that. I've seen some people do 4-4, but honestly, I think you only need 2 of Grandpa Gohan, but that's just my opinion, though. Alright, next up here. For our main 2-drop, we have 4 copies of Intrepid Dynasty. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Son Gohan. Now, I like this one more, mainly because he has Barrier. And he has a Swap 3 by tapping 2 energy. So that's how you get into your... That's how you basically, like, you rank up, essentially, is just with Swap and all that. And like I said, the fact that he has barrier is really, really good. But the whole 10,000 power is a little late game. Early game, it's fine. It's just late game. But I also do run 2 copies of the dependable Dynasty Son Goku. Same thing. He has a swap 3, same cost as this. He has higher power, but he doesn't have barrier, so he's not something I go into too often. Mainly when I'm just trying to like go in for late game. But yeah, that's my whole reason for that lineup there. And next up here, climbing on up, running 4 copies of Ultimate Potential Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Gotta go with the Gohans here. It's all Gohan deck. Well, not all Gohan, but Gohan is a huge part of this deck. So he has swap 4 for 2 energy. And his auto is when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards and knock it out. So you can either play this with a Shugesh, or you can play it off the Gohan for 2 energy. Either way, you don't have to hard cast this, so that's definitely really good. Alright, next up here, probably one of the most important cards for our whole Lineage engine is going to be 4 copies of Discovered Dynasty Son Gohan. Now, he's got a swap 5 for 3 yellow, which is pretty good. Barrier, also good. And his auto, being that when you play this card with swap, you draw 2 cards. So that's really your biggest thing right there. Having something with barrier and the draw 2 is just, it's just amazing. Like, you gotta have a full playset of this in the deck. It's just too good. And not to mention, like, there's just so many times where I've got this out by turn 2, and it's just incredible to be able to get all this out in turn 2. Alright. Now let's get into our bigger guys here, our bosses here. So first off here, I've got 3 copies of Reborn Might Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Now he is the 5 drop that we're going to be swapping into with our Gohan. And he has a swap 8, but we don't run any of the 8 drops in his deck. But his Activate Main is what makes him really good. You choose a card from your life, add it to your hand, you switch him to active mode, and he gains triple strike if you have 2 life or less. And you'll definitely get to 2 life or less with this whole deck here, especially with the Baroks and everything. You'll have no problem getting to 2 life with that. So you attack, activate his skill to restand him, and you should be at 2 life by then, and then he'll be a triple strike 25,000. So that's really awesome. And another card that the Gohan can actually, I'll put these to the side for a second so I can show you guys. Our other 5 drop's going to be the 3 copies of Ultimate Form Son Goku. Now he does not have swap, but he is Lineage, and he has double strike. And his permanent is if you have 3 or less life, reduce the energy cost of his card in your hand by 1. So if you're at 4 or more life, you swap him out with the 4 drop Gohan. If you have 3 life or less, you could actually swap it with this Gohan here and just pay less energy to bring him out. So that's really cool. And his auto is pretty cool as well. When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and knock it out. And if it was in rest mode, you get to draw a card. So he knocks out anything regardless. And if it was rest, you draw a card on top of that. So that's really good. Now, I don't run the other 5-drop Goku, like the 27 one with barrier. Because, like, I don't know. Like, I thought about teching him, but he just doesn't come up. And I don't really run any of the higher rank stuff, because for that, I might as well just be running Path to Greatness, and that's a whole other deck in itself. So that's the reason why you not see me running Height of Mastery or the Path of Greatness stuff, because, like, to me, that's basically like its own deck. Like, you technically can, but you really can't at the same time mix it up with Lineage. I mean, you could, but it'd be 50-50 at best. So just giving you my reasoning there. And now let's get into some of our more supporter cards here. Starting off with our super combos. I run 2 copies of Shugesh and 2 copies of Zangia. Shugesh, obviously, of course, to bring out our stuff here. Mainly it's just going to be our 3-drop Gohan there. But we do have another target, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But I only run 2 Shugesh because, like, most yellow decks, yeah, Shugesh is everything. But it's really not that big a deal in this deck, because, like, you get to play stuff with swap as well. So say your opponent plays a Chronoa on you early game. Oh well, it's really not that big of a deal. Plus, if anything else, it's still a free 10k combo you could use. So that's why I'm not really stressing this Shugesh. Like, it's good to have, yeah, but if it gets blocked up by Chronoa, it's not the end of the world. It's really not a big deal at all. And the two Zangia super combos, because this is our new Sparking 5 super combo, and since we do have burst, we will get there extremely quickly. You can run the Beerus if you wanted to, but like the only reason I put Zangia over Beerus is just the irony behind it. So I just want to be hilarious and ironic with that. And I know I failed. Alright, speaking of our yellow cards here, next up we're going to be going with 2 copies of Godly Destruction Whis. I'm only running 2 copies of this because I'm noticing a lot of people right now are not really playing stuff that taps too much. Other than like the stuff you see with Senzu Bean. And some of the most like recent things that top weren't even running those at all. So like people are just starting to become afraid of these cards and are not running them right now. But you still shouldn't get rid of them completely. Just in case someone decides to be bold, be like, oh hey, no one's playing these right now, let me go ahead and put in Senzu Bean and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely want to keep it around just in case, but yeah, it's not as prevalent as it was when these type of cards were first released. Because like people are starting to become afraid of these. It's a whole thing with Shugesh or Cronoa. When Cronoa came out, no one was playing Shugesh. Then people stopped playing Cronoa. Then boom, Shugesh came out of nowhere, and now people are starting to play Cronoa again. So it's just kind of like that endless back and forth pattern here. Alright, and last up here for my battle cards. As I said, this would be our other Shugesh target. It would be 3 covers of Impenetrable Defense Trunks. Now, I almost ran 4 of this guy in here because of how good he is. So he's a 3-drop blocker, 20k power, so that's pretty good. And his auto is at the end of your turn, you switch this card to active mode. So he's a 20k beat stick that you could swing and re-stand him to be used as a blocker. So he's really good. As I said, I almost put this guy at 4, but I found 3 was the right number. At least for me anyways. If you want to go ahead and like maybe cut a Whis to add 4 or cut something else in the deck for 4, that's perfectly fine because like he is really good. Alright, now for our extra cards here. Since this is a whole Lineage engine and not just the Storm, I'm running 4 copies of Successor and not 3. 0 drop searches you for Goku's Lineage with 5 costs or less and swap. So this literally searches you everything for Lineage except for... where is it? Alright. This literally searches everything except Ultimate Form Goku. Like, it can even search your other 5-drop because it's a 5 cost and it does have the swap right there. So it searches it searches everything including one of your boss monsters. This is the only one it doesn't search, but this is the one you kind of go into to where, like, if you don't really have a choice, like, if you could help it, you always want to swap into this one. Because, like, this is the one that's just going to clean house and finish games for you. So it's good that you're able to search that one. And for more additional search, I do have 4 copies of Planet Vegeta. Again, this searches you every battle card in your deck except for these 3. These are the only battle cards in this deck. Oh, and the Whis too. But still, like, that's only 4 battle cards and things I don't even max out on. Like, these are the only cards in this entire deck that Planet Vegeta does not search. Searches everything else you need, including your Shugeshis, including like about 90% of your Lineage engine. So really powerful. Alright, and of course I'm going to be running 4 copies of Time Magic. Any yellow with burst, you gotta max out on Time Magic in my opinion. It's just too good. Being able to negate and freeze something in rest mode, ignoring barrier. So it gets around those dual triple attacks with Shenron. It's just really awesome. And not to mention a Sparking 5 be able to play by taking a life instead of actually paying it is also really good. It helps you get to your 2 life that you need to give your 5-drop Super Saiyan 4 triple strike. So that's really awesome there. Just a few more cards here. I run 2 copies of Full Power Kamehameha. Like, you activate this if your leader's a Yellow Sun Gohan, and he gains 10,000 for the duration of the battle. And if your opponent has 5 or more cards in rest mode, it gains an additional 10,000 power for the duration of the battle. So, if your opponent's trying to like push for game, and you need like a way to defend yourself, this card is absolutely perfect because for 1 card, 1 energy, and in the game, you will be getting that 20k. And if you manage to save both of them in your hand, so let's say they're trying to empty out their whole hand for game. You go ahead and play 2 of these, If it's going for game that they're bound to have 5 or more in rest mode, you just have 40,000 power added to this guy for just 2 energy and 2 cards. Like, that's just mind-blowing. And vice versa, if you're trying to push for game and you need to get the damage, boom. Full power Kamehameha, however you want to pronounce it, is going to be your absolute best bet. Personally, I love this card so much. Like, this is like one of the reasons I really wanted to play the Gohan later, just for this card right here, because it's so good. And, of course, I've got my 1 copy of Battering Laser, just to deal with pesky counters and all that stuff. Alright, so that does it for the Super Saiyan 2 Yellow Gohan Lineage deck profile. Even though I had a few things to say about the leader, I do honestly believe that if you want to go like for a Lineage deck, that this is going to be one of your best leaders for it. Not even just like the unawakened side to just the whole digging through, drawing 2, all that stuff, but just also the fact that like even though I complained about it being once per game, it could still get you something that you may need. Like say any of your Lineage stuff, it could get you your 5 drops, it could get you your Gohans if you accidentally milled them. It can get you a Trunks if you milled it. Like, it can just get you so much. So, as I said, personally for Lineage, I think the Gohan from Destroyer Kings is going to be one of the best leaders for it. Like I said, I've had a pretty decent amount of success with this. So, definitely try it out, guys. Lots of fun. Has a really nasty bite. And it's Yellow Gohan from Boja. Like, honestly, when it comes to Team Gohan, this is my absolute favorite design. Like him in Goku's uniform, being all Super Saiyan 2, and just an absolute monster. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel for more Dragon Ball content. Gonna have lots more deck profiles with Destroyer Kings. This set with such a huge impact to the meta. Like, everything's all topsy-turvy right now, and I love it. Gonna be rewriting lots of stuff, and with that, guys, stick around. Like I said, we have a lot more deck profiles coming. And with that, guys, hope you all have a fantastic day. See you guys next time. And you've been released.